I work with Accion International, and Accion's a global nonprofit that over the last several decades has invested in and managed microfinance institutions around the world, and always with the same mission of promoting financial inclusion, giving people the financial tools to improve their lives. I think in the recent past we've noticed that a lot of the new innovations and the way that we're thinking about expanding beyond basic enterprise credit into new kinds of financial tools, savings, remittances, insurance, are with new institutional forms. And a lot of the innovations being driven by technology companies, startups, new kinds of business models. And in interest in doing that, we've started to branch out and invest more in companies that are promoting new products, new distribution models, new technologies to both improve the efficiency of microfinance, but also to find entirely new ways to disrupt the microfinance model and do financial services in a more efficient way to the base of the pyramid and underserved customer segments. We've been investing through Frontier Investments for several years, looking at companies that are a bit more established and starting to prove the model, but are very disruptive and innovative and need money to grow. I work with Venture Lab, and Venture Lab's a brand new creation from Accion, and essentially recognizing that in Frontier's experience, they're looking at a lot of companies that are really innovative, that have great teams, that are just too early to absorb significant commercial capital that can deliver returns and start to grow. And instead need an investment in that initial proof of concept phase. So Venture Lab invests smaller amounts of money, between $100,000 and $300,000, and wraps around, in addition to that money, Accion's resources by way of its footprint, its people, its technical expertise, and really tries to not only find these very innovative new approaches to promoting financial inclusion, but also accelerate them. And I think we're trying to take a page from the book of microfinance, where the early pioneers that really figured out the model and then worked to replicate it, sped up the process for other people in other markets. Similarly, we want to be that risky pioneer, slashing our way through the forest and trying to find new business models, invest in that, and then when they succeed, let's evangelize, let's go out, let's see if other people, that this can create a sector and not just individually successful firms. And when they don't, and we will have failures, that's the nature of taking risks like we have, let's make sure that we and the industry learn from those.
The lab was created when?
We just launched in April, so it's been something we've been thinking about for quite a while now. But we launched in April. We've now built the team to 3. We've got someone in East Africa, and we're working on hiring someone in India. So far, I've made 2 investments. We're about to close on a 3rd, but off to a quick start.
Yeah, and so we like talking about disruption on Next Billion quite a bit. So you may not be prepared to mention the companies by name, but sort of how are they? Give us an example of what you see as a disruptive business practice.
I can actually quickly talk about at least the 2 that we've closed. Maybe not naming them just yet, but one, our first investment was in an airtime payments business in Southeast Asia, and a lot of people talk about mobile wallets, trying to access the. Sure. You know, there's 2.8 billion people with cell phones, and maybe less than 1 billion that actually have access to bank accounts. So how do we use that mobile access as a wedge to reach these customers? Mobile wallets people have been talking about for a long time. What this company does is they really help customers use prepaid cell phone balances. And you know, in the developing world, people don't have postpaid accounts like us with bills that you pay at the end of the month, but instead load through retail points, load value onto your phone. This company helps customers use that value that's already on their phone to buy things they need, and specifically targeted as a first step on virtual goods. So participating in the entire e-commerce landscape. So that could be things like copyrighted music, copyrighted content, but vocational training programs, agricultural information services, micro-insurance premiums. And I think the vision in the short term is let's unlock the potential of e-commerce for customers who have phones but don't have bank accounts or credit cards. Right. In the midterm, we hope that this will be a platform to offer other sustainable service delivery models and other kinds of products to customers who need them, want them, and can pay for them, but don't currently have that mechanism of payment that would allow them to access it today. So that's one. Another one is really applying the principles of big data, which we read about everywhere, to credit decisioning. And specifically, it's a technology platform that helps aggregate data from hundreds of sources, online, social media, public databases, cleans it up for financial institutions and helps them analyze what attributes and what data points are relevant to whatever particular decision the financial institution wants to make. And so for us, we're particularly excited in ways that aggregating this information will help financial institutions make responsible credit decisions about customers who currently lack access. And so there's currently, if you're not in a credit bureau, and if you don't have good credit in a credit bureau, you're denied. And in fact, there's a large number of those customers that are denied access to credit that are probably very creditworthy. And if we had the tools to access other information about them and their lives that would fill out this picture, we could actually make better credit decisions. But the applications go way beyond that. Help financial institutions reduce fraud, help them assess suspicious transaction activities for anti-money laundering. So a lot of different applications, but really I think this theme of using alternative data, big data, new ways, new fundamental innovations in terms of how we think about creditworthiness and how we think about assessing creditworthiness, I think that'll continue to be a big theme of things we invest in.